I've been a 911 dispatcher for 12 years, and for the last 7, I've worked the graveyard shift. After a while, you stop thinking of the calls as people. They become numbers, codes, a rhythm of panic you learn to move through without letting it touch you. My county is the kind of place that falls asleep at night. The streets empty, the stores close, and the only sounds are the distant hum of highway traffic and the occasional dog barking at nothing. Most nights, the worst we get is a drunk teenager or a loud argument, nothing that would keep you awake if you didn't have to respond to it. Then, my boss gave me a rule that didn't make sense. If a call comes from the old house on the county line, he said, you let it ring. I asked him why. He didn't answer. He just stared at me like he was looking at someone who might not survive the shift. Do not answer it, he repeated. Not ever. If it rings, let it ring. That was the first time I heard the name of the house. It was a Tuesday, around 2:47 a.m., the time of night when the building feels like it's holding its breath. My console flashed with an unregistered VoIP call. No address, no name, no signal, just the word unknown. I answered. 911, what is your emergency? Static. The kind of static that feels like it's crawling through the headset, thick, wet, like listening to the radio underwater. Then a voice, a child's voice, thin and trembling. Hello? Can you hear me? I leaned forward. Yes, I can hear you. What's your emergency? The static rose, almost swallowing him. He's back, the boy whispered. The man in the mask is back. My skin went cold. Where are you? I asked, forcing my voice to stay calm. The old house, at the end of the road. Please. Then a sob, broken and silent. Daddy's on the floor. He won't wake up. And then the line died. No click, no hang-up, just silence. I tried to trace the call. The system returned errors. No location, no subscriber info, nothing. I dispatched a patrol anyway. The officer radioed back 15 minutes later. Dispatch, car 12. Property is secure. No signs of entry. No one here. Are you sure? I asked. He sounded annoyed. Yes, the place is boarded up, dust on the porch. If someone's in there, they're a ghost. I logged the call as unfounded and tried to push it out of my mind. A week later, same time, same kind of call. He's in the house. Mask. Mommy's screaming. The calls kept coming every Tuesday at 2:47 a.m., always the same unregistered VoIP, always static, always the same boy's voice, getting more desperate each time. Each time I dispatched a patrol. Each time the house was empty. No footprints, no evidence, no sign of a struggle. Just dust, silence, and that oppressive feeling that the house was waiting. My supervisor called me into his office after the third call. Stop sending patrols out there, he said. It's a waste of resources. It's a child, I said. He looked at me like I was naive. It's a story, kid. A glitch, a prank. Stop feeding it. But I couldn't stop thinking about the voice, the fear, the pleading. I started researching the house. At first, it was just curiosity. Then it became obsession. Property records were messy. The house had been sold and resold to banks and holding companies. It was like everyone wanted to own it, but no one wanted to live in it. Then I found an old newspaper article from 1975. The headline was blunt: Family murdered in county line home. The article said a husband, wife, and their 10-year-old daughter were found dead in the house. Their 8-year-old son was missing. Police found evidence he had been hiding in a closet upstairs, but he was never found. A neighbor claimed to have seen a man running into the woods wearing a pale mask. The killer was never identified.
The boy was never found, and the house was left to rot. I sat in the library basement, staring at the article, my hands shaking. I felt like I had found a missing piece of my own life, like the calls were pointing me to something I was supposed to see. My supervisor pulled me aside again a few days later. He looked older than his age, like something had been slowly draining him. "You know who sat here before you?" he asked. I shook my head. "The dispatcher before you," he said. "He got obsessed with the house." He told me the story of a man who had started taking the same calls, a man who insisted there was a child in danger, a man who sent patrols out every Tuesday without fail. Then the calls stopped. He started showing up to work late. He stopped sleeping. He spent his days in the archives. And then, one night, he took a call and vanished. His car was found on the County Line Road the next morning, engine cold, doors locked. No body, no trace, just the car. My supervisor looked me in the eye. "Don't answer it," he said. "If it rings, let it ring." It was 2 nights ago. The clock read 2:45 a.m. My heart was beating too fast, like it knew what was coming. 2:47. The console flashed. The call came in. My hands froze. My brain screamed, "Don't answer." But I couldn't ignore it. The voice was a child in trouble. I answered. "911, what is your emergency?" The static roared like a storm. Then the voice. "He's got me. He's got me. Please, he's taking me." The scream that followed was raw, desperate, and too real. I was about to dispatch patrol when a message flashed on my screen. "Do not send help." My fingers hovered over the keyboard. The boy's voice became frantic. "Please, you promised. You said you'd send help." The static shifted, and a new voice appeared, older, hoarse. "He's here," the man whispered. "He sees you." I felt my skin crawl. "He's looking at you through the line." Then the line went dead. I sat there, staring at the empty console, my chest tight. The building was quiet, too quiet. Then I heard it, a faint knocking. Not on my door, on the walls, like someone tapping from inside the building. I stood up. My feet felt heavy, like the floor was trying to pull me down. I walked down the hallway and looked into the glass of the window. In the reflection behind me was a figure, a man with a pale smile, empty eyes. He was standing directly behind me, but when I turned, no one was there. He was only visible in the reflection, only in the glass, only in the static. The mask, the smile, the man. Back at my console, I realized something. The calls weren't coming from the house, they were coming from the line. The old house was just a doorway. The calls were a bridge. The boy's voice was trapped inside it, and whatever was on the other side was trying to cross over. I looked at the screen again. A message appeared. "Thank you for answering." Below it, "Now you're one of us." My stomach dropped. I understood then what happened to the previous dispatcher. He didn't die. He answered, and he became part of the line, part of the static, part of the mask. The console rang again. Same time, same unregistered VoIP. 2:47. My hands trembled. My brain screamed, "Don't answer." But I answered anyway. 911. A calm voice came through. Not the boy, not the man. A woman. Soft, tired. "Hello," she said. Then she whispered, "Please, you have to listen." I listened. She said she was the mother. She said the boy was not missing. She said the father was not dead, and then she said the sentence that made my blood freeze. He is the one who answers the calls. The line went dead, but the intercom in the dispatch center clicked on. My supervisor's voice came through, but it wasn't his. It was distorted with static. 911, what is your emergency? The voice said. My hands went numb. The voice continued. I'm here. I'm listening. The calls didn't stop. They kept coming, because now the county was answering for me.
I sat down. The clock read 3 a.m. The server hum grew louder. The phone line stayed open, and in the static I heard a faint whisper. A boy. Please, don't let him take me again. And somewhere on the county line, the old house waited, silent, patient, hungry.